What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me for the Faces for Radio podcast. I am your host, David, aka the 4K Lowdown. My partner in crime, Rich Turner Fan 77, will not be joining us this evening. I know, I'm sad too. But unfortunately, he got called into work. So it's just going to be me and my special guest. I'm going to bring her out here in just a second. I have a little intro that I wrote. So, with close to 1,800 followers on Instagram and well over 2,000 on YouTube, this person is much like the movies she loves. She is a monster. As 1/3 of the Rad Pack, her content, as well as her backdrop, is purple and on point. The Faces for Radio podcast is honored to welcome in the final girl herself, Mel, aka Mykillerpodcast. Mel, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing really good. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. It's an honor to have you. I know we tried to do this like about a year ago. We couldn't get our schedule straight. So I'm really happy to see you on the show this time, and we're going to talk some horror movies. It's going to be awesome. So, what is it about horror movies in general that appeals to you most?
Well, I just kind of grew up with them forever. My momster was really big into them, and she used
Mm.
to watch them all the time, and so therefore I watched them all the time. So they're just kind of ingrained in me. It's just my favorite genre. I watch them all the time. Halloween's also my favorite.
Favorite
So
time of the year?
favorite time
Totally.
of year, favorite holiday, all
Totally.
the things.
Yeah. Corey's in the house. What's up, Corey?
Hi,
And we have
Corey.
Holland. Holland, thanks for
Holland.
joining us. Johnny is in the house.
What's
How are
up,
you, Johnny?
Johnny?
Look at that. Everybody jumping in. Okay. So those of you that are unfamiliar with the Hi-5 basically is I bring a guest on the show, in this case, Mel, and I had her pick 5 movies that are horror themed because of the month. And basically, Rich and I watched these movies previously and scored them already. So, what we're going to do is have Mel talk about these movies and score them live on the show using the lowdown formula. And she was a little nervous beforehand, and I understand. We're going to make this work. It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, everybody's saying hey to everybody else. And in the midst of this, Mel, I'm going to ask you 5 hot seat questions. They're going to be really easy. Just kind of get your feel for your movie watching preferences, like things that you like when you watch a movie, actors that you like, things like that. So we're going to go through that. In between each movie, we're going to ask a hot seat question. So without further ado, are you ready for your first hot seat question?
Just right from jump. Sure.
Well,
Let's
right
do
from the
it.
jump, we're gonna just knock this out. Okay, first hot seat question. Do you prefer to watch movies in the theater, on digital, or through physical media?
Oh, what I prefer in
What do
the
you prefer?
theater.
Yeah, in the theater, yeah. Why
Mhm.
is that? Is it the a lot of people have bad experiences in the theater, but what is it about the theater that appeals to you most with, big screen and the sound and
Yeah, all
you
of that. It's like,
yeah.
mostly the popcorn.
Oh yeah.
I love the popcorn. I love going and getting candy. I get a box of candy. I get my popcorn. I get a large soda. It's like the only time I'll drink soda is when I'm at the movie theater. And you go and you get your seat, and I like to sit kind of in the middle of the screen, in the middle of the auditorium. And it's like, because I'm at the theater, some of those surrounding things that might annoy people don't annoy me just because the experience is so much fun. The last movie that I went to see, it was really funny. It was The Exorcist Believer, and it's kind of a scary movie, right? So there was a
Yeah.
woman in the audience who was just like overly scared, like, was, like,
Just like
screaming
screaming.
and stuff, yeah. So, you would think that would be
Nice.
annoying, but it really wasn't. Like, if I caught myself laughing and having a good time with it.
Yeah. I was gonna say it kind of enhances the experience, right? With
Yeah.
and I remember when I watched the first Insidious movie, it was kind of like that. And you could hear people like ruffling their seats and stuff, like they're getting ready to hide because they knew a jump scare was coming. And you
Mhm.
could and like the half the audience would just scream
Yeah.
when stuff was going on. But yeah, I just recently watched Exorcist Believer too. Nobody really overreacting or anything, but that's kind of fun. It's when someone's on their phone or There's a bunch of noise that doesn't have anything to do with the movie, but if someone's screaming and people are cheering and there's
Mhm.
laughter, I dig that. I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too. So it's just kind of the overall ambiance of it all. And then I'll usually get that movie on physical when it comes out, and then I'll watch it at home in the dark by myself, and then I'll get the creepy vibes then, you know.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right. So, basically, with your 5 movies, and I love the variety that you picked. So there's different different types of horror, right? So I kind of break it up into 5 different categories. I have paranormal, which is your possession movies and your ghost stories and things like that. Slashers, which are your classic, Halloween and Friday the 13th and all that kind of stuff. Your monster movies, which are your vampires, your werewolves, your giant alien things in Antarctica, things like that. And then gore, which is just straight up, you want blood and guts and body parts.
Mhm. Those
As
are my
Rich would say,
favorite.
the stuff that I'm sick about because I love that stuff, but he doesn't. Um, and then I take a fifth category and I separate found footage from that because some
Mm,
people either love or hate found footage movies, even though they could mostly they're paranormal, but they could be different styles. But found footage is kind of its own type because of the way it's filmed. So
right.
so I love the variety that you picked here. And there was actually one movie that was a first time watch for me. And
Oh,
I am a big horror movie fan. So when you presented one of these movies, I was like, I've never seen that. And I
nice.
was I was really looking for it. So that was a lot of fun. I think Rich had 3 first time watches.
Oh my
Um,
god.
of
Well,
the
I guess
5.
you
So yeah,
said he
he's
wasn't a horror
not as
guy, right?
big of a horror fan. Um, it's so funny when I asked him to pick like his top 5 gory movies, and I think his first pick was Final Destination 2. And I went, okay, now come on.
That's
But
adorable.
but love Rich. He's so awesome. Yeah, but I picked something that really grossed him out, and
I
because I
bet.
wanted to test his level, what he could handle,
Mhm.
and it was Excision, and I don't know if you've seen that. Um,
No.
oh, if
What's
you,
it called?
ooh, it's called Excision.
Excision?
Yeah,
I'm gonna write
and
that down.
yeah, it's yeah. He just went no. He goes, I was sick. I threw up. I didn't like it. It
Oh,
was
poor guy.
he was like he goes, you're a sick person. And I was like, it's a great story. It's sad, but it's a great story and it is very bloody. But I said I could have went with a Serbian film and you would have totally you would have totally had a problem with that.
He would
Um
yeah, he would have just checked himself right out.
Yeah. But I was like, I did levels. I went, okay, let's try, a couple level 2s, and I went level 3, level 4, and then level 6 was Excision. Because I rate the level of gore on like a 1 to 10 scale. Much like I do with my scores here. But anyway, Bob's in the house. Hi, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate that. Had one first time watch, Psycho Gorman.
Nice.
Awesome. Adding Excision to my to be list now. I hope you like
I'm
it.
gonna do that too.
Me too. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've got the DVD. I should show you, but we'll see if we got time at the end of
Yeah,
this.
for sure.
And Johnny says a Serbian film is wholesome family entertainment. Yes.
Johnny,
Yes,
stop
it's a family
lying.
film.
Please don't
Right,
show your
right there
kids.
with Jingle All the Way, and that's where I
That's
put it. My
horrible.
Christmas movie watches.
Mm.
But anyway, okay, let's get to our movies.
Cool.
So, as I said, 5 movies that you gave us to watch. We watched all 5, we scored them, and we're going to present them and talk about them ranked lowest to highest based on Rich and my average score. So I have little tidbit videos from Rich because he couldn't join us, but he did talk about each movie. So I'm going to surprise you with each movie that he picked from fifth to first. So
Aw.
getting getting to his lowest scored movie. Here we go.
Psycho Gorman. This movie was terrible. I know a lot of people like this movie. I don't get it. This was like a Power Rangers movie on crack. Had gore, had a little bit of humor, but yeah, I couldn't stop thinking of the Power Rangers when I watched this movie. It was terrible. This is the worst movie out of the 5. Will I watch this again? Absolutely not. But again, thank you for picking it because I got to see what everybody was talking about. So yeah, I always like watching new movies, and I got to watch this one. So I could check that off my list of movies to watch. And that's my thoughts on Psycho Gorman. Not much thought because it was a terrible movie, but that's it.
Oh no!
It's these videos are priceless.
Oh my god! But Psycho Gorman is supposed to be cheesy and ridiculous. It was made
to be, right?
to be a Power Rangers type movie, you know?
Right. And when he said Power Rangers on crack, and I said, yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly how I felt about it. You know, I can't say I loved it, but for what it was supposed to be, it was perfect. It
was
did
this your
exactly
first time watch? Which one was your first time watch? You're gonna make me wait.
I'm gonna make you wait.
Okay, fine.
I think you might be surprised. My first time watch, I was surprised. I was like, "Oh crap! I can't believe I haven't seen this." I actually bought this, so I own this on Blu-ray.
Psycho Gorman.
Yeah.
Oh, I pulled all my physicals. Did you want me to do that? Do you want me to show them?
We can. I didn't grab my physicals. I have all of them except for one because
I always pull my physicals for these live streams because I never know if people want to see them. So I have this one.
Yeah.
And then I got the Raven Banner one that came with the little guy.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Hold on. Whoops, wrong one.
That's
see him
awesome. In there.
Yeah.
It's the same Blu-ray. It's just this one came with an action figure.
It's got the action figure with it. That's cool. So what is it about Psycho Gorman? What is it that you
Blood Diner is one of like my favorite movies, and it is super B cheesy horror. It has bad practical effects, even worse jokes. And I haven't seen a movie like that in a really long time. And when I saw Psycho Gorman for the first time, I was like, yes, this is it. This is like my new aged Blood Diner kind of, you know. Plus yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I loved it from the first time I saw it. It's cheesy, it's B, it's terrible, it's hilarious though.
Yeah.
The practical effects are bad, but they're good. They're so good. Hi, Tim.
Tim is in the house. Yeah, I just, I told Rich, I said, this movie is completely ridiculous, but it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I gotta say though, the gore in this movie is awesome. It's way over the top, but the practical effects are bad, but yeah, it totally reminded me of like the 80s cheese, nasty horror movies where you're just like, wow, I can't believe that. So yeah, totally. I mean, I enjoyed it, but yeah, I didn't give it a very high score because it's a bad movie. It's not a good movie. It's just I had fun with it because I got exactly what I expected out of it. And yeah, so
that's
now
fair.
we're gonna get the scores on this. So basically there's 10, and I'm trying to bring up your list. So Psycho Gorman, there we are. Okay, so there's 10 categories, and the first 5 categories are cast, acting, plot, ending, and story. So we're going to talk about those first. Now, when we talk about cast, it's mainly by recognition only, and I know you said you were terrible with names, so we're going to work this just a little bit differently. So based on and I kind of like how you were talking about how you felt about that cast being in the movie and things like that. So kind of put that into perspective. And so you're going to rate the cast on a 1 to 10 scale for this movie. Now, I'd like to have it by recognition. If you don't know anybody, then we'll just take, like a 2 or a 4, just kind of throw a number out. Hey, I don't know anybody here. Nobody looks familiar. So whatever you want, what do you feel about the cast here?
Okay, so I'm gonna give it a 0. Can I give it a 0 or should I give it a 1? I don't know anybody.
Okay, so we have to give it a 1.
Okay.
Rich and I both gave it a 2. So there's just really, nothing going on. But the lowest we can go is 1. So
I'll give it a 1 because I don't know anybody. But how do I feel about people who are actually casted? I love all,
right.
especially the dad was my favorite.
I did like the dad. I like that. He was probably my favorite character.
Yep.
Let's see. Okay, Mike's in the house. Cannibal Holocaust is good family entertainment. Yeah, I put that right alongside a Serbian film. So the next category is the acting, and this is where, how do you think the acting was on a scale of 1 to 10 by the cast?
So this is going to be a little hard because it's these actors went into this movie having to play bad characters and having to portray like acting kind of badly. You know what I mean? Because like this movie is
Right.
purposefully out to be a B horror movie. That was its purpose. So these actors are having to give B horror movie performances. And to me, I think they did a great job at doing that. The little girl is like the most hated person in this movie by almost everybody, but I loved her because you hated her. She did her job,
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
Just
solid.
because a lot of, not all of the performances were spot on and everything like that, but yeah.
Yeah. No, it's totally cool. I actually like the kids in this. These aren't actors. They took these kids and auditioned them, and they didn't want anybody with any acting experience. So they took like brand new, like fresh off the street kids and put them in this movie because we don't want you to know how to act. We want you to go ahead and do this movie. So because I went through and if you've gone through the special features on that Blu-ray, they talk about stuff like that with how they auditioned the kids and stuff like that. It was actually kind of cool. Fit and frightening. And hey, can't stay, but saw the live and wanted to show some support. Try to rewatch it later. I appreciate that. If you guys, if this is your first time in here, please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that. And of course, if you don't know Mel, definitely check her channel. Her links are in the bio, in the description down here. So definitely give her a follow too. But so Psycho Gorman is a hidden gem.
Yes, it is.
And then my friend Mike is in the house. What's up, Mike? So the next thing is the plot. And the plot, this is your first curveball. What I'm going to do is read the synopsis of this movie from IMDb. And based on that alone, you have to say how you'd be willing to watch it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, based on that? Oh, no.
Yeah. I know sometimes I get some doozies.
I bet. I've read some of those IMDb synopses.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny. So yeah, this kind of thing. Okay, so here's the synopsis for Psycho Gorman. After unearthing a gem that controls an evil monster looking to destroy the universe, a young girl and her brother use it to make him do their bidding.
Well, that sounds better than what I thought it was going to be.
This kind of lays, foreshadowing that he said it was a hidden gem. So I don't know if you did that on purpose, Bob, but that was good timing.
He'll say he did it on purpose.
Oh yeah, of course he did. So on a scale of 1 to 10, just by reading that, how likely would you be to watch this movie?
Okay, so I kind of tried to rate these a little bit beforehand, but I'm gonna have to drop my rating a little bit just because that doesn't sound as good as what the movie actually is.
Right.
So I mean, based off of that synopsis, I did watch it,
Yeah.
because I knew this movie was coming before I actually saw it. So I did watch it. So I guess I'd give it like a 6 or a 7, kind of middle of the road, a
Okay.
little better than
A little better than half.
yeah, a little better than
Yeah.
average.
All right. All right. So I threw a 6 at it. If you give me 2 numbers the next time, then I'll raise that one up I'll
Okay.
round that one up. That's not a bad plot description. Sometimes IMDb will hose you with those. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's some doozies that I've read, and I'm like, holy crap, that was awful. But
Mhm.
that's kind of one of the things that makes it fun. Okay, so now the ending of the movie. This is strictly the ending. You're rating the ending on a 1 to 10 based on, did you get all your questions answered? Did it give you the closure that you wanted? What did you feel about the ending? So how would you rate the ending on a 1 to 10 here?
Well, like I said, I really liked this movie. There really wasn't anything bad about it. I feel like all of my questions were answered. The ending made me laugh because of the brain kid and
Right.
which is so funny because Blood Diner had a brain in it too, a practical
Oh,
brain. So that's
right.
so funny. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed the ending. And it ended the way I wanted it to, so that always helps. So I don't know, maybe like a 8.
Okay, great. And then the next thing is the story. So story is basically beginning, middle, and end. Were there any slow parts in the movie? Did it keep you interested all the way through? Um, like I said, anything in the middle that kind of bugged you. But again, rate the total story of the movie, beginning, middle to end, on a 1 to 10.
The total story, I'm gonna give probably is 8 too high?
This is about your feelings, so you
Because
can
I'm gonna
totally
give it
take
an
it.
8 because, like I said, I knew exactly what this movie was going into it, and it is just, like, hauling balls through the whole movie. There isn't really any downtime.
It
There's
it is, yeah, there's no downtime in this. It's full
yeah,
tilt movie all the way through, yeah.
it go goes, and you're laughing the whole time, whether it's just because parts are just bad or because the comedy is that good or whatever. So I'm gonna give it an 8, I think.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so that's the first 5. Second 5 are, script, cinematography, direction, music, and wild card. So, we'll start with the script. This is basically how it was written. Dialogue, any kinda parts or something like that. So how would
Mhm.
you rate the script or how it was written on a 1?
This script was amazing.
Pretty fun.
It was pretty damn amazing. The one-liners, like I said, I keep going back to the comedy because, I mean, this technically is supposed to be a horror movie, but all the horrors and the visuals and all the comedies and the dialogue. So, I'm gonna give the script a 9 because this movie it's hilarious and it's so good. And Psycho Gorman's like his lines are so funny.
Yeah, everything's so literal.
Yeah.
Rocky Rogers in the house.
Hi, hi, Roger.
All right, so the next one is the cinematography, and this is not just camera work, but visual effects, practical effects, CGI, any of that junk. So how would you rate that on a 1 to 10? Just the
Well,
whole visuals of the thing.
this is gonna kind of this is hard because, like I said, the practical effects were meant to be bad,
Yes.
but they're still bad, right?
Yeah. They're still bad. They're purposefully bad. So yeah, it made it kind of interesting to score because I'm like, okay, yeah, that's bad, but it worked.
But it's supposed to be bad. So
Yeah.
then what? I'll
So
give it like a I don't know, like a 7. We'll say
okay.
7.
Okay. 7's good. All right. So, this is direction. So how do you feel that the director did here?
Okay, I literally know nothing about direction.
Okay,
So
Steven,
I feel like if I
Steven,
watched the movie and I enjoyed it and I thought the actors did good, then the director was probably good.
okay. So Steven Kostansky directed this, and he also directed The Void. What else did he direct? A lot of makeup stuff. What else did he direct? Oh, he directed the Day of the Dead TV series. He directed VHS 94, one of the segments. Leprechaun Returns. I don't know if you've seen any of these. ABCs of Death 2.
I've seen 94, I've seen Leprechaun, I've seen parts of Void. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'll give it a
Andor.
7. 8.
So it's kind of like based
No.
on his other works. If you've seen some of the other works, how do you think he did here compared to that?
Oh, compared to that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it a 7.
Okay, sweet. Like it. Okay, music. Now this is total. It's not just, again, it's all sound. So musical score, soundtrack, sound effects, like the crunch of
Hmm.
bones, let's say, just to put a example.
Oh, even
Right?
that. Okay.
The crunch of the bones and
That was a good example for
the
this
squirting of
one.
the blood and just the
Mm,
sounds that come with that. That was one of the things I liked
yeah,
about
they
it,
did
because
a
they
good job
really
about that.
kind of enhanced that and made it to
Mhm.
where you go, ah. So
Gotcha, huh?
that was a technical term. So yeah, I got chills on the back of my neck just thinking about that. Um,
Well, the
'Cause
sound
it's
effects are something they did really well.
they did a really good job on the sound effects.
Yeah, so let's go 7.
7, good. All right, and the last thing is the wild card. Normally, this is strictly a rating based on the genre, but since these are all horror movies, we're going
Mhm.
to go based on the type of horror that this is, and I consider this a gore movie because it's supposed to be bloody, it's supposed to be gory. It could technically be kind of sci-fi related, but
Mhm.
I think of it as a gore movie. I don't know how you feel about it. Do you?
Hmm.
What type of horror movie do you think this is? Do you feel
I
this?
I would have put this in, like,
Be
either,
monster?
sci-fi horror or horror comedy,
Right. I like
that
that
kind of
too.
thing.
Okay. So yeah, but I mean, if based on the type of horror movie this is, how would you rate it on a 1 to 10?
I'll give it an 8 because it did a good job.
Good. All right.
This makes me really wanna go watch this movie now.
Right?
I'm literally gonna watch this movie after this. I'm gonna watch all 5 of these probably after talking about them.
You should. I mean, we did in just this last week or so, we've watched all 5 of these movies, so
That's so
it
fun.
was a lot of fun. Total blast. All right. So, do you want to know your final score on this?
Sure.
I'm just putting it together right now, and I'm gonna load it.
Excited.
That's so yeah, it's cool. I love it. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so let's go to the final scores on Psycho Gorman. IMDb gives us a 6.2. Rotten Tomatoes critics score 92%, audience score 64%. Rich gave it a 51. I gave it a 54. And Mel, your score is a 68.
Woo! Is that good? I don't know.
That's good. That's
Okay.
good.
68's not bad.
68 is not bad. All right. So let's go to, what are you doing? Is it night time? My granddaughter.
Oh.
Piper, come here. Come here. Want to say hi? Nope. She
Oh.
usually just grabs the microphone and starts talking.
It's
But yeah,
okay,
I thought
next
you were
time.
going to come over to me. Next time.
Next time.
You might come over. Yeah, it's not quite bedtime yet. So she usually comes over right before bedtime. All right. So let's go to number 4. on our list, and let's hear it from Rich.
Oh man.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I would have never watched this movie if you didn't pick it. And I'm glad you picked it because I got to watch it finally. And this movie was so crazy. I was laughing a lot in this movie. The clowns were actually looked pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. I think the popcorn turned into whatever they turned into in that shower scene. That made me laugh a lot. There's a lot in this movie that I laughed. I keep saying laugh because this is what this movie did, made me laugh. This wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So thank you for picking it, Mel.
Well, you're welcome.
Well, you're welcome, Rich. So yeah, coming in at number 4 is Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and this was my first time watch.
Oh, this one was? Oh man, nice.
I was like, I can't believe I've never seen this.
Right?
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh, Mega Mike is in the house, my neighbor. Psycho Gorman is awesome, so fun, and you all are awesome. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Mike says Killer Clowns is a fucking classic. Wins all across the board. Thanks, Mike. There she is.
I couldn't agree more. Oh, hello.
Yeah. Okay. Go see Mama.
Bye bye.
Say bye-bye. That was so funny.
Oh,
So
she's
that's
adorable.
Piper, my granddaughter.
Adorable.
Yeah, she's so cute. What are you gonna knock my block off?
Oh my God, I love it.
That's so funny. And they were like, okay. Oh,
Did you get to see the music video though?
no, I didn't.
Okay, I'm gonna send you a link to the music video. So back in the day on the VHS, when the movie was over, it transitioned, like, and the credits start rolling, it rolls a music video of, I think it's the Dickies wrote a song specifically for this movie, and then it plays the music video all through the credits, and it was so good. It totally changes the music score, that one song.
Yeah, I bet. I forgot to give you hot seat question number 2. We're going to jump back really quick. Hot seat question, which you kind of answered already.
Oh.
What is your go-to movie snack or beverage for the theater and at home? And we talked about popcorn. I totally dig popcorn. This is your only time for soda. So what candy, though, do you normally get?
Okay, I'm gonna sound like a crazy person. So Sprite is my soda. It has to be Sprite. And then we usually sneak in those little like popcorn powders, like the powdered ranch or the powdered cheddar or whatever that you
like
shake on top of the popcorn.
Lime or with those little
the little shaker things. And then Junior Mints is usually my go-to candy. If they don't have that, then I gravitate towards like chocolate covered raisins.
Okay.
Like not normally candy I would like eat outside of a movie theater, but for some reason like that's my jam.
That's just normal. Yeah, that's like normal movie theater. Okay, yeah, I want to do something completely off the mark. And this is why, you do the soda. I always do the popcorn with enough butter to kill a buffalo. But yeah, oddly, my wife has a habit of she'll either get Skittles or she'll get the gummy Lifesavers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. But when she gets Skittles, she throws them into the popcorn.
That kind of sounds good.
The hell out of me. I can't have that. I'm just like, oh, that's not popcorn. But totally funny. So, funny. Johnny says pizza. Mike says yes. I totally remember that music video.
Right, so good.
Raisinets are a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Rob says,
hey, Rob.
Hey, what's up? And hey, everybody. I appreciate that. What's up, Rob? Thanks for jumping in. But yeah, anything at home, like you're at home, you're watching a movie. Do you have some other type of snack, or do you?
So usually when I'm at home, I make what I call fun popcorn. So it's I basically just do the microwavable bag of popcorn with the same seasoning stuff. But then
Right.
if you do hot tamales in it with like
Cinnamon.
yeah, the hot tamales with usually candy corn if I can get my hands on it, and then like
Okay.
gummy bears or something. Sprinkle them all in.
You put
Sometimes raisinets in there, and then it's just like fun popcorn because it has all this candy in it. That's my
right.
go-to.
Yeah, that would totally drive me nuts. Um, but like, I'll do like I don't know if you have fiddle faddle, which is
Hmm.
it's popcorn and then it's got caramel in it and nuts and all kinds of junk and it's all mixed together.
Oh no, but it sounds good.
It's really good. Chocolate, usually there's like a chocolate drizzle in there and caramel and nuts and things like that. It's like fiddle faddle, or there's another one that's kind of like a butter toffee thing that's pretty good.
Ooh,
Uh,
that
but
sounds good.
oddly enough, my go-to snack for at home is chocolate covered banana chips.
Oh, I love banana chips though. Those
Oh,
are so
it's so good.
good.
I take the chocolate covered banana chips because I can get them at bulk in my local supermarket, and I put them in the freezer, and
Ooh,
then I just throw them in a bowl and just snack on them with my drink,
that
and
sounds good.
it's a blast. I really like it. Whenever I can get that, I totally take advantage of that. Brian says candy corn. No,
Candy corn is the most
I
underrated
I
candy.
like candy corn. You can't get candy corn except during Halloween.
Yeah,
And
you
then
gotta
people
indulge in
complain about it.
that.
It's like the fruitcake of Halloween candy
Well,
where
it's something to do with the salty popcorn, the spicy hot tamale, and then the sweetness of the candy corn. When you eat them together, it does something completely different. I can't explain it, it just does. And like the salt of the popcorn makes the hot tamales not hot anymore. So then they just taste
that's
like
crazy.
sweet cinnamon. It's so weird. I implore everyone to at least try it once.
Yeah, I was going on IMDb and was going to bring up Killer Clown so I could read the synopsis for you. But what came up was Totally Killer on Prime.
Oh,
And
yes.
it was something that Rich and I just watched. I thought that was great.
I just watched that as well, and I liked it too.
Yeah, it was
Uh-huh.
fun. I really enjoyed that.
I
Um,
enjoyed it too, it was really fun.
cool. All right, so let's talk about Killer Clowns. So first things first, the cast. Do you recognize anybody here? I mean, I know you're like way younger than me, but this is like my era as far as time.
So I only recognize a couple people. So, um, Sheriff Mooney, I recognized
Yes,
him, okay?
yeah.
And then the red-haired chick, I recognized her. Those are the only 2 that I really
Was that the
recognize.
female lead or was that?
Yeah, the female
Yeah,
lead.
yeah, I recognize her as well.
Mhm. So those are the only 2 that, like, I've seen this movie for so many years, forever, so I know who those
Right.
people are now, but,
Okay,
recognizing
so
them is
let's
just
put
I
you at
would
a
say those
solid
2.
3. Yeah,
Huh?
so that puts you in a solid 3
Okay. Yeah.
for the cast. Okay, so acting, what did you think of the acting here?
I thought it was great, like, I think they all did a really good job. Uh, the lead actress always cracks me up when she does her, like,
Yeah.
thing that she does. Um, but, yeah, I would give the acting, like, a 7.
Okay.
I think that's a nice middle of the road.
Right, here we go. Let's read the synopsis.
Oh god.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god!
Fuck. Okay. Um, I'm gonna try to do this with a straight face. Aliens who look like clowns come from outer space and terrorize a small town.
Okay, that sounds ridiculous. I think there's, like, a 5 chance that I would watch this movie.
Okay, so put a 5.
Sure.
All right.
That's so sad because the actual synopsis of this movie is great.
It is. It is. It's so funny. But okay. So wait. Mike says, "Oh, okay. Oh no, I'll try not to hold the candy corn against you, Mel."
Okay, thanks.
Holland says, "Can Dave and Rich review the hot tamale candy corn popcorn?" That would be funny. I
I
will
love
talk to
this
Rich about
idea.
that. I'm down to try it. I will try it. I will try it for you, Mel, and then
Yay,
I'll
thanks.
probably DM you and go, "Oh my god,
This was terrible.
crazy. I can't believe you did that to me."
Or you're gonna love it. I think you're gonna love it.
I think I love hot tamales. I am a huge fan of cinnamon. I love the spiciness of that. Now the popcorn kind of taking that away. That's interesting. And then yeah, I've just never thought of mixing candy corn in with that too. I think that'd be interesting. I'd try it. I'd do it.
Yeah. So that's
I'll do
kind
it.
of where I come in because it's like I would never just buy a box of hot tamales and eat them. I don't like the spice of them, but
Yeah.
for some reason when you put them in popcorn, like I will buy them and put them in popcorn and eat them just because it changes the flavor. It's very weird.
Right. All right. What do you think of the ending here for Killer Clowns?
The ending was great. How the big top spirals up into the sky like a top, like a spinny top. Oh, it was so good. I loved it. I mean, the special effects are a little well, that's not this one, right? We're just we'll talk
No,
about that later.
we're getting to that when we talk about the visuals, but as far as the ending, the closure, and I'm just gonna say, killing him by shooting him in the nose. That's classic.
It's so good,
It
right?
was so funny, especially the big giant one.
Yeah.
Um, that was hilarious.
I loved the guys in
I
the
did.
ice cream truck when it was all said and done. They were like,
They're so
"Oh, no."
stupid.
And
Oh yeah, we survived. We hid in the freezer.
yeah.
It was like, what are we gonna do about all the ice cream? You said to do this, we'd get girls.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I've had that conversation with a buddy of mine where he's like, "You said we'd get girls this way," and I was like, "No, I did not say that." All right, so let's put a 1 to 10 on this. What did you think of the ending?
The end is a solid 9.
Nice.
Mhm.
All right, so the story as a whole, what do you think of the story on a 1 to 10?
So the story was incredibly creative. There's no other movies like this out there, so you gotta give the story a 10, right?
It is. It's a crazy story.
All the
You can
little
totally.
nuances of this story, like Rich said, with the popcorn turning into the long neck clowns and
Yeah.
the big top being a spaceship and the nose thing like you said, and we even had some puppetry in there a little bit with Sheriff Mooney, like, it's so good, so creative.
Ventriloquist, that was yes.
That was hilarious, but it was also creepy, it was so
It was really creepy, and then he goes, and then you get that sound effect with him
Yep.
pulling his hand out, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's nice." Okay, so how is it written? Let's talk about the script. So, what did you think of the writing here?
I think the script was good. There were some good one-liners. Somebody mentioned one earlier, the "What are you gonna do, knock my block off?"
Yeah,
And the old man at the beginning was pretty funny with some of his dialogue, and so I thought the script was pretty good. I'd give it an 8.
okay. Dig it. Okay, so let's talk about the visuals. Cinematography, visual effects, practical effects.
So the
I mean,
practical effects were amazing in this one.
for it being an 80s movie, yeah.
Yeah. The clowns, the cotton candy sacks when they rip that part off and the face
Yeah.
underneath, that was amazing. It gets a little shaky at the end when the spaceship actually kind of takes off. It looks a little cheesy, but it's a victim
Yeah,
of its time, you know?
it is. Yeah.
Um, but now, today, it's so nostalgic. Like, I love seeing those kind of effects and stuff with, like, the lasers. and stuff. And since there was some good practical gore effects in this,
Yeah.
it makes me kind of want to give it like a 7 or an 8.
Okay. Then we'll highball it. Let's give it an 8.
Okay. Love it.
All right. So now we're going to talk about directing. So
Yeah. Ask me that director question again.
yeah, Steven Chiodo directs this, and he he produced that too. He directed, was that Screamers? No, I think he was just a producer on Screamers. What did he I think this was his only, no. Was he a director? Oh, I think I clicked on the wrong dude. Did I? I don't see that he's done anything else as far as a director goes.
Yeah, I don't feel like I've
I don't,
seen
yeah,
him do anything else.
yeah, he's produced like he's produced movies, but yeah, so I think he did a pretty decent job of directing this film. There wasn't anything that really stuck out to me as being like weird as far as how he was putting the movie together. Because when you direct the
Mhm.
movie, it's kind of like you film it in the order that you want, and then you like put it together in pieces. And I think it worked for me as far as the lineup goes. Uh,
Mhm.
so I thought the directing was okay. I think, yeah, I gave the directing a 7.
Yeah, that
So
sounds good.
I thought that was pretty solid, and I think
Yeah.
Rich did too.
Yeah, because like you said, when you think about the movie as a whole and how it ebbed and flowed and
Mhm.
each piece, like each part going to the final climax at the end, it was all really well. There's nothing in there that I was like, that didn't make a lot of sense or whatever. So yeah,
Yeah,
7 would that sounds good.
yeah. Mike says, when I did my high five, I had a list of about 30 movies, and Killer Clowns, House 2, and Maximum Overdrive made it to the top 15. Love me some
Nice.
Disney horror movies. Nice. I love all those.
I love goofy
I
horror
love
movies
House
too.
2. I love Maximum Overdrive. Uh,
Mhm.
really
Same.
awesome. What's up, Tiana?
Hi, girl.
And hello, Chris. Hi, Chris.
Look
What's going on, my friend? Um, all right. So we talked about direction. Okay, music. So sound effects, music, score. What did you think about this?
The sound effects were great. Like I said, that title song for this movie
Yeah.
is so catchy and so good, and the music video is so good. I love it so much. I wanna give it a 9.
Dude, give it a 9.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you that link to that music video. I'm gonna do it right now just so I don't forget. It is so
Yeah, I'd
good.
love to check that out.
Oh my god. You're gonna be, like, singing this song.
I'm gonna be like all over that. I say, Cody's in the house. What's up, everyone? Don't forget to roundhouse kick that like button. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Tiana loves some Killer Clowns.
Yeah, girl.
Uh, Melly Gumdrops in the
Is that my
I'm
pet name?
pretty
Did you just
pretty
give me a
sure
pet
he was
name?
talking about you because I've only got only one of those applies to me, and that's
That's the smelly one.
the smelly one. I'm the smelly Dave, and that's
Oh, no.
no, my wife will not let me be smelly. So there's no, I'm not allowed. Hygiene is very important.
Yes.
Okay, so the last thing is the wild card. Again, sci-fi horror, maybe comedy horror. This is kind of like Psycho Gorman in a way with
Yeah.
this type of movie. So, what would you rate this type of horror movie on a 1 to 10 here?
What did I give Psycho Gorman? I don't even remember.
You gave Psycho Gorman an 8.
An 8. Hmm.
And would you think this would be better or worse than Psycho Gorman?
Well, I don't think it was any better or any worse. I think they both
I
really
agree with that.
did really
Yeah.
did what they set out to do very well, and so, yeah, I'd go with an 8 for this one too.
Ooh, good score. I'm sitting here doing the math.
I'm looking for the music video. You must
Look
see
at the
it.
music video. I must watch it.
You
I'd
must
probably raise
see it.
my score on the music because I gave the music an 8, and I'd
Oh, you
probably
did?
yeah, and
Before you even saw the music video? That's amazing,
yeah,
actually.
yeah, because I love the songs in there, and I love the sound effects, especially with the crazy like demented clown effects for like the
Mhm.
gun and the cotton candy and all that kind of stuff. It was really kind of cool. I dug that a lot.
Yeah, it's really good. Oh my god.
Oh no!
This just this just
Yeah,
takes me back.
I was in.
I love it.
I forgot to put my pictures in for that. And where is there you are. Loading that one up, and I've got that one too. I love that clown car. That was
Oh my
so
god, that
fun.
was so good. And all the clowns that came out of that
Yeah. Well, I think that was at the end when the
Oh, when
when Mike
the
Tobacco and the
friends
cop
come
comes out.
out.
I'm
Mhm.
sorry, with a name like Mike Tobacco, I love
Yeah. Oh. Oh,
it was
man.
nice. They were later used as trolls in Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah, you can really, really identify one of them. I forget which one it is,
Yeah.
at the end
Cave,
of Ernest.
Caveman says, "Hey everyone, head's not great. So I'm
Hello.
listening in the background." Oh, sorry to hear that, brother. I appreciate you being here, though.
I feel
All right, let's
better.
go to our final scores on Killer Clowns. IMDb gives us a 6.2. Rotten Tomatoes critics score 77%. Audience score 60%. Rich gave it a 65. I gave it a 64. Mel, you gave it a 74.
Woo! Dang, we're, like, right on track with that.
Solid. All right, moving in to number 3. I've got to motor a little bit. So, hot seat question number 3. Besides the movies in your high five, what's one horror movie that you could watch on repeat right now?
Um, hmm, I don't know. Does The Burbs count as a horror movie?
I call it a dark comedy, but yeah, it could be.
I watched that
I
one
know
on
the Burbs,
repeat.
like, and I kind of halfway. I thought you might have given me the Burbs. What?
I wanna call it a horror comedy, but I guess it's more of a dark comedy,
Yeah,
fine.
but sure. But is there anything else that you're like,
Um,
just watch this? I love to watch this all the time.
other than this 5, I don't
Yeah.
know. I gotta, like, look around. I gotta look around in my movies. Yeah, nowadays, there's not a lot of movies that I watch on repeat anymore because I have so many movies I have to just watch in general.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't
It's
know.
hard enough for me to just watch it once.
Yeah.
Um, but now, yeah, I watch The Exorcist every year for
Yeah, that's a good
Halloween.
one.
So it's always the Exorcist, John Carpenter's The Thing, the original Saw, and Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are
Ooh.
my 4 like go-tos.
Yeah, Ernest Scared Stupid is one that I watch every year, like, I have to watch that one for Halloween.
Nice. Mike likes
Yes.
it. The Burbs is a great pick.
Heck yeah.
All right, so let's go to our third movie,
'Kay.
and let's hear it from Rich.
Evil Dead. This was a first time watch. I know that's weird to say, right? Evil Dead. Who hasn't seen Evil Dead? But I'm not a fan of the Evil Dead franchise. So this was a first time watch for me. A very young Bruce Campbell. I think this isn't as bad as I made it out to be before I watched it. I get what they were trying to do. I think this is Sam Raimi's first movie. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Sam Raimi either. So, but I did enjoy this. It wasn't as bad. The special effects were pretty good for the time. Will I watch this movie again? No. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Evil Dead.
There's so many hot takes there. I can't even with him. Rich, I can't with you.
You can't even with you right now.
I can't even. Like, what the hell? Not a fan of Evil Dead. Not a fan of Sam Raimi.
Right? Rich just doesn't like anything that's actually good. Oh, what's up, Miss Caveman? Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Oh, that's
love
so
that.
funny.
That is so funny.
Okay, so number 3 movie, Evil Dead, 1981. So I was 11 when this came out, and I absolutely love this movie.
Mhm.
It's a classic. It's iconic. Now, I'm a little bit partial to the 2013. I guess it's called a requel because it's kind of part sequel, part reboot.
Really?
I do. I like it because it's more serious. I love this one,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of like I'm not good with mixing my candy with my popcorn. I'm not as good mixing my comedy with my horror. There are some exceptions, absolutely. This being one of them. I love this movie. But yeah, I really like the 2013 remake, and it's surprisingly enough. I can't say I like that one better than this, but like 1 and 2, I would take the 2013 remake over Evil Dead 2.
Interesting. Yeah, because this movie could have gone either way. They could have made it super serious, or they could have made it a horror comedy. They took it a little more comedy, but not as comedy as the second one, because this one does kind of try and take itself a little more serious with splashes of comedy, whereas like the second one is just
It's
like straight.
just straight.
It's just straight up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we got Sarah in the
Hi,
house.
Sarah.
David and Mel. Thank you so much.
How are
Sarah's
you?
awesome. Everybody saying hey. I hated the remake reboot. It was just a generic gory horror movie. Shouldn't have been called Evil Dead. Okay. We're gonna say goodbye to Mike. No.
I didn't hate it. It was interesting. I enjoyed it, but it was just it was more of a remake than a prequel, I feel like. The
Yeah.
only thing they really changed was like the reason they were there, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah. It's kind of like, you know, when you watch a horror movie and then you turn around and you watch it in black and white,
Mm.
but it's the same movie,
Mhm.
but it gives you a different feel. That's what I mean. 2013, that movie felt like the original movie, only they took out all the funny stuff.
Yep.
They made it just
100%.
straight gory, and I love my gore, so I dug it. I was really pleased with it. I thought I did enjoy it a lot. So, and it's okay that Mike didn't. You know, I've known him for a long time, so I'll let him slide. But this was a fun rewatch for me. I do try to watch this at least once a year.
Mhm.
It had no charm, no soul. And neither do I, apparently. So everybody's saying hey to Kiana. But let's go to the cast on this.
Okay.
So we can get our scores knocked out here. What would you, I mean, Bruce Campbell. Duh.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being completely honest with you, Bruce Campbell is really the only one that was overtly recognizable. He's like the reason I watched this movie to begin with.
Yeah.
Obviously I recognize all of the cast now, but so yeah, I guess I'd have to give it a 3 on that point.
Yep. A 3. Okay, so what do you think of the acting?
Oh god. I feel like this movie is not going to score as high as I want it to. But this one
Yeah, it didn't score as high from. I mean, I got to tell you, I was higher than Rich, uh, but yeah, it didn't score as high as I thought I would score it.
Yeah, because it
Because of
kind of
how.
has the
Oh, yeah.
same thing as Psychogorgia. Like it's
Yeah.
meant to be bad, but it doesn't come off for Evil Dead, the first one doesn't seem as self-aware as Evil Dead 2, if that makes sense,
Mhm.
because the comedy isn't there. So I'd give it like a 6, maybe.
Okay.
Yikes. Yoinks. I don't like
Yoinks! Yoinks in a way.
it.
A 6. Okay, now for the fun one. Let's read the synopsis from IMDb.
Oh God.
Ooh, okay. This one's rough. 5 friends travel to a cabin in the woods where they unknowingly release flesh-possessing demons.
That's it.
That's it.
IMDb is the worst. I'd still watch it.
Yeah,
I'd
no, I
get
still watch. You had me at demons. I'd be like, okay, demons. I'm down to watch this.
and throw flesh possessed demons in front of that even
Flesh-possessed.
to make it a little more
Yeah.
juicy. Yeah, so I give it a 7.
Okay. I think that's what I gave it to.
Okay.
Yep,
So at
I
least
gave it.
I'm on par here.
Yeah, you're on par with me. Okay, what'd you think of the ending here?
I dug the ending.
Hey, Rich is here. What's up? He's
Hello,
saying he's checking in on
hello,
his supper break. Everybody's saying, "Hey,
hello.
get bet in IMDb." Sarah saying,
Rich,
okay.
I'm not a fan of your take of Killer Clowns, bro. It's okay, it's okay.
Or
I'm just
Strictly
not a fan.
Bourbon. I just the look on your face when he was like, "That was a terrible movie," and you were like,
Oh, and you had a lot of hot takes for Evil Dead too.
"Yeah,
Anyway, I'd give the ending an 8. Let's give it an 8.
okay, down for that." Okay, what'd you think of the story?
Um, so it is technically a possession movie, but at least they took the horror trope cabin in the woods and changed that a little bit, made it a little juicier. They added the book. So they had some interesting things going on in this one. So I'd have to give the story like an 8, maybe.
Okay, yeah, that's what Rich and I gave it. So
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty original.
yeah. Caveman says thoughts on Tucker and Dale.
I love that movie.
I loved that.
I love
That was
that too.
that was good. Oh yeah, he's gonna watch the replay. Yeah, you're gonna be laughing, Rich. It's
Yeah, you're
hilarious.
gonna love it.
If only you could see when I had your video playing. If only you could see Mel's reaction to it. Priceless. Um, so okay, so let's talk about the script. How do you think this was written?
The dialogue was
Because
pretty
Sam
ridiculous.
Raimi wrote this too.
Did he?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah.
I don't know. I guess when I think about this movie, the dialogue is never the first thing that pops into my head. There's no real like memorable like one-liners or anything like
Okay.
that. So I'd say 7.
Okay. Problem. All right. So let's talk about the visuals, practical effects, visual effects, cinematography. What did you think about that?
So the practical effects are some of the thing that I love the most about this movie.
Oh yeah.
I think they're done really well. And it's horrifying. Yes. It's horrifying because of the practical effects. So I'd give this a 9 for sure.
Yeah, that's what I gave it.
Yeah.
Okay, direction. So Sam Raimi is the director, and he's done the other Evil Deads. He's done Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange. Sam Raimi's like all over the place. Drag Me to Hell. That's one I really liked.
Doctor Strange was crazy.
It was a mess, but I think Disney was like reining Sam Raimi in.
It was a
Like,
technical mess, but it
yeah,
made sense.
yeah,
And for him to take all of the points from the production and make that make sense and add a little Evil Dead to it, I loved it.
Yeah. I did. I really enjoyed Multiverse of Madness, and it was because I liked Sam Raimi's little horror spice, his little seasoning that he would put on it.
Yeah,
It
he
made
added
it
some
real
Evil
fun.
Dead in there, I swear, that's what that was all
Yeah,
about.
I loved the whole thing with the gong when she came out of the I dug that. That was like right out of the ring. I was so
Mhm.
involved. I was so into that. That was
Yeah.
so cool.
So,
Um,
I actually own Doctor Strange, the Steelbook, because I go and I see all of the Marvel movies just because I feel like cinematically they make the most sense to go to the movie theater to see, but I don't ever buy them.
yeah,
But I bought Doctor Strange,
yeah.
you know?
I own that one too, but I own most of the Steelbook, so
Oh, yeah,
it's
see, I don't,
not
I
it's
might
not a
have
surprise. It's more
4.
of a surprise that you bought it. That's not your normal thing, but yeah, I normally
Yeah.
get those on Steelbook, but that one I was like, I liked it. And he
Mhm.
says it again. I'm not a fan of Sam Raimi.
Get outta here,
He's
you.
he's got he's got she's gonna have words with you, brother.
We're gonna have to have a
What's going
talk,
on,
my guy.
Steve? Thanks for jumping in. Holly saying hey to
Hello.
Steve. Alrighty, so as far as direction goes,
9, I would give it a 9.
solid. Okay. All right, now music. Score, special sound effects,
I'd give it a
music.
7, I think.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
chainsaw is, like, the most memorable thing.
Love that. Love that. I know there was something about just the whole with that. I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of in the background, like that, almost like a high pitched whine with the chainsaw.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
if you listen to it, that really got. I mean, I gave the sound a 10. I loved the
Oh,
sound effects.
you did?
This was my favorite part. Next to the visual effects was the sound, the way that they did the sounds with
Oh,
it, with the witch and with all the stuff. I totally dug all
the
of that.
chains and stuff.
Yeah. What? I don't, I don't know what that was. I think he was questioning Rich's lack of enthusiasm towards Sam Raimi.
That's fair.
Okay, so wild card possession movie. How would you rate this on a 1 to 10?
Oh, it's a 9. It's not my favorite possession movie, but it does a really damn good job.
Okay, what's your favorite possession movie? I gotta know.
Um, so it's probably at the moment The Exorcism of Emily Rose,
Ooh, I enjoy that.
because that one scares me probably the most out of possession movies at this, like, stage of my
Okay.
life.
Okay.
Um, but yeah.
It's still I mean it's still The Exorcist for me. But I did really like The Exorcism of him. Possession movies are probably my favorite
Yeah, they're
of
one of
all
my
of them.
favorites too.
I totally dig that. And there's one that really surprised me. It was called The Unborn. I don't know if you've seen this one.
Oh, I haven't.
Okay. So it's basically a woman, I know, girls going through her life and come to find out she was a twin and she consumed the other twin,
Mhm.
but that was possessing her. And she was going
Ooh.
through this thing, and it's there's Gary Oldman's in it, and they do a Jewish exorcism,
Mhm.
which was really cool. The different way that they did it. Now I like. There's another one with Jeffrey Dean Morgan called The Possession, and there
Yeah, I was
was
gonna bring that one up too.
I really like that one, and there's with the Dybbuk box and all that,
Yep.
and there's a Jewish exorcism ritual there, but it's totally different. So if you get a chance to check it out, it's called The Unborn.
The Unborn. I wrote it down because I haven't
Yeah.
seen that one yet, but The Exorcist scared me to death when I was a kid, but when I watch it now, it doesn't scare me anymore, you know? It's just I don't know. I still enjoy it and I still like to watch it, but it just doesn't scare me like it did before. But The
Okay.
Exorcism of Emily Rose, there's just something about that one that just freaks me out.
Yeah. No, it's Jennifer
Adrian.
Carpenter that when she's in the barn and she does that with the face
Mm,
and how there's no CGI in that. She did that herself.
yep.
It was so bad that it scared the crap out of the director.
Yeah, because I remember watching all the special features for that because I was like, man, this was based off of a true story. I was like, I want to know what actually happened. So, like, me being a creep, I read all the stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, a good chunk of that movie takes place in the courtroom or with the lawyer and not
Yeah.
necessarily her, you know? So, in that part of the movie really intrigues me as well.
Yeah. I like that too because I dig the courtroom dramas.
Me too.
So it kind of gives me a nice little hybrid to where you get a little courtroom drama and then you get a little possession, and it's
Mhm.
kind of a flashback or the way that they do it. So yeah, I dug that. Caveman says best home invasion movie. You can't choose Huck's answer of ET. So home invasion movie. Any
I guess just The Strangers, I mean, that's, like, the
that's
main one, right?
Yeah, I dug The Strangers, and it was really The Strangers didn't bother me until the last line of the movie.
Mhm.
And that's when you're like,
Ew.
"Oh, yeah."
I'm not answering my door ever again.
Never again. Um, everybody's saying, "Hey." Boy, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. David and Mel, have you all checked out my movies?
Yep, I've checked out your
I
channel.
I have. I haven't been on there recently, Sarah, but it's been really busy for me, but I will definitely get in there as soon as I can. Um, okay. So I gotta do that score since we were playing around. Interesting.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let me bring this in. All right. So, but yeah, Evil Dead. I think it's an iconic movie, and it's one that I had to have in my collection. So yeah, I've got the steelbook right behind me. So
Mhm.
that's something that I couldn't be without. But let's go to the final scores. I think you're going to find this really interesting. IMDb gives us 7.4. Rotten Tomatoes critics score 86%, audience score 84%. Rich gave it a 67. I gave it a 79, and Mel, your score is a 73.
Oh my goodness, that's
So
lower than I
you
thought it would
you
be.
rated this lower than Killer Clowns, but if you look at it, Rich and my average is 73.
Yeah. Nice.
So you can see that he's a 67, I'm a 79. So put that together, it's 73, which was exactly your score.
That's awesome. It
So
was meant to
totally
be.
cool.
Well, yeah, the cast is killing me here. It's bringing all my
Yeah,
ratings down.
it's bringing your scores down, but I think with this next one coming up, it's going to change a little bit. So let's talk about number 2. We have your hot seat question number 4, and that is who would be on your Mount Rushmore of actors and actresses?
Oh my
So like
god.
favorite actors and actresses, and we can go straight horror or you can just anybody.
Um, wow.
Like if you go, oh man, if there's a movie with Denzel Washington, I have to watch that. Or
So, I
like
I
that.
have to watch Woody Harrelson. He is
Good.
probably my number 1. I love the Coreys, Corey Haim, Corey Feldman.
Mhm.
I'm a big Charlize Theron fan and Angelina Jolie fan.
Nice.
How many more do I need? Is that enough?
I think you've said at least 4.
Okay, good.
So yeah, I think we're good.
Those
Um,
are those are my mains, I guess.
okay.
I'm sure I'm forgetting some.
So Sarah says that she only needs to add the Evil Dead remake to her collection.
Hey,
And
girl.
what's up, Mika? So yeah, Mika is going to be on our Hi-5 next week
Hell
with
yes.
her 5 horror movies. That was equally
Awesome.
fun. Again, there was one movie that I'd never seen before, so
Oh, Oh.
It's a great treat to get a horror movie that I haven't seen, because I've seen a lot of horror movies.
That's nice.
Steve says, according to Fed Alvarez, Evil Dead 2013 is a continuation, which is why you see Ash's 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88 in the movie, and also Ash's cameo at the end credits. Yeah, according to Sam Raimi, he said it was part sequel, part reboot. When they interviewed him. But everybody loving Mika, and rightfully so. Okay, so let's get to our number 2 movie. And again, I think you might be a little surprised. Let's see what Rich said about it.
Oh my God.
The Lost Boys. I really like this movie. It still holds up today. This is probably my top vampire movie of all time. It's just a fun watch. It's got a comic book shop in it, so that kind of wins points with me. It's got the two Coreys. It's got Kiefer Sutherland, Jamie Gertz, I think that's her name. I like her. But yeah, this is a fun horror movie, vampire movie, and another great pick. I like this one.
Yay!
We got one.
End friendship if you didn't like this.
That's it, and no longer like you. So, is this your top vampire movie?
This is my favorite horror movie of all time.
Oh, favorite of all time. Awesome.
If we're not counting The Burbs as a horror movie.
If we're not counting The Burbs.
Because The Burbs is my favorite movie of all time.
Of all time, yes.
This would be my favorite horror movie of all time. Yeah.
Okay. Caveman says, 4.5, what made you fall in love with the movies besides escapism?
I don't know. My monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah. No, I love Lost Boys. Now it is my number 2 vampire movie of all time. I do have one that I like a little bit more, but it's just me personally. I'm more of a classic vampire fan. So the original Fright Night is my favorite.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because I like Chris Sarandon in it, and Roddy McDowall, and I love the whole I love that one in particular. But then Lost Boys is number 2, and it used to be Near Dark was my 3rd, and then 30 Days of Night took that over. So 30 Days of Night is my number 3. I really enjoy that one. Yeah, Lost Boys is great. Vampire movies are the best, and that's my best friend Mike. Hello. The maggots in the Chinese food box still gives me the heebie-jeebies. I almost had that picture for you, Mike. What movies should I watch my first time watch? Mel saw on my list. I saw my list. So you've seen your list. So in Sarah's list, what would be a good first time watch for her? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm sorry, Sarah. I don't remember your list.
So good. Fright Night, let's go. See, I love Fright Night, but Lost Boys, so unique in its style. Right down to the way the vampires die, and the whole thing with how the garlic works. I dig it. And this is from 87 was when this came out. But yeah, I mean this
it's so cool. Like, these are the cool kids.
Yeah.
This is the movie that made everyone want to be a vampire.
Yeah, way before Twilight.
Yeah.
Nobody sparkles in this movie, you guys.
They wear leather instead.
Evan. Okay, yeah. So Lost Boys was fun. Not my favorite vampire. Mine is Interview with the Vampire, and then Blade 2. Okay.
Blade 2. Nice. There's a hot take.
Blade 2 is an interesting take. I like the Blade movies. But
me too.
They don't really crack my favorite vampire films, but I do like Blade 2 a lot. Lost Boys is one of my favorite. Yeah, I love the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a good movie. But let's go ahead and get to the cast. And I mean, I'm just gonna put a 10 for you for cast because
Thank you. Yep.
this is I mean everybody about everybody is in this movie.
Literally everyone.
Literally, I mean right down to got Bill S. Preston Esquire in the back. You got Jamie Gertz, who Rich is like, yeah, kind of like her, but I like Jamie Gertz. And Billy Wirth of all people is in this.
Yep.
And then of course you got Kiefer Sutherland and you got Jason Patric, you got the Coreys. Everybody and their dog.
Diane
is
Wiest.
in this
Is it
movie.
Wiest? Diane Wiest.
Yeah.
She's the mom.
Yeah, it's totally amazing. So, okay. Wait. We'll be talking about Sutherland on Disney Night, but truly he can't do no wrong. Even his bad movies, he's still good in them. Blade 2 was a fun one. Del Toro fan. So that one was enjoyable. Nice. Yes. Some of their performances in Lost Boys sparkle, Dave. Okay. Whatever. Cast slays. Yeah, this is one where the cast absolutely slays. No pun intended. Speaking of slays, how did the acting slay in this one?
Well, see, this movie can do no wrong for me. So, I mean, I'll give it a 9.
Okay. I love your restraint, Mel.
So, can we just do 10s across the board and call it a day?
Across the board, except for the IMDb. Oh my God.
No. Can we just skip that one?
This is funny. You got to hear this though.
Okay.
Okay. So here is the synopsis from IMDb about Lost Boys. After moving to a new town, 2 brothers discover that the area is a haven for vampires.
That's it?
That's it. This is some of the worst synopsis. I usually get like 1 or 2 that are like really bad, but this has been almost across the board, except for maybe Psycho Gorman wasn't bad.
No, this one, the other ones make Psycho Gorman actually look pretty good.
Look like stellar. We should give Psycho Gorman a 10 for the
we should probably
for the plot.
See, with that, I don't even know if I'd watch this movie. That sounds like every other vampire movie. That sounds like Great Night.
I mean, if they give me a little bit more, but yeah, I still, vampires, I would still be in.
Yeah.
But
maybe
yeah,
6.
I mean, 6. Okay. I mean,
no.
I know that's kind of sad.
It makes me want to cry.
I'm so sorry. But okay, ending. Come on, how is the ending not?
Oh, the ending is epic.
The ending's got to be at least a 9, if not a 10.
Oh, it's 10.
Yeah, I agree.
It's 10 with the grandpa walking to the fridge and he gets out one of his root beers. Like, the one thing I never could stomach was all the damn like you knew the whole time.
Like he's like, damn
it. So good.
Let's see. Oh, so yeah. Sarah says she has thousands of physical DVDs to upgrade. Me too. Love me some Mel.
Hey,
she rocked so hard.
Hello.
Lost Boys is on my watch list. You haven't seen it yet, Adrian? I'm a little shocked, but I'm kind of jealous too. If you get to watch this for the first time.
For the first time. Yeah.
IMDb is the actual worst. Worse than Rich's take on Evil Dead. This is where I hate David's rules. IMDb is the worst at describing, and that's kind of the point.
Me too.
I kind of do this on purpose because we love these movies. We want to give them all 10s across the board. So I've got to throw a curveball to get the score down a little bit. Wish me luck on my root canal on Monday. Ouch.
Get better soon.
That ending is a 10 hands down. Yeah,
yeah, girl.
I dug that. My only thing, and it was kind of cool and bad at the same time, was how Kiefer Sutherland's character died.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted it more epic, but it was kind of cool that it wasn't.
Well, I mean, it was kind of epic. They had that battle in the rafters
Yeah, but
for
I mean,
like
you know how they say that when a vampire dies, any number of things can happen. They could explode, or they
implode.
they could implode. They could do this. They could do that. And he just kind of went,
Well, he died and then he turned pretty.
yeah. And then he went, oh, he's so pretty. He's so beautiful.
He's so beautiful. He was
He's
glowing.
so handsome.
It's so gorgeous.
Oh my goodness. I declare. Um, oh, she's
Uh,
going to do flatliners after.
oh my god, I love that movie.
Love flatliners.
I know, me
Um, yes, he turned pretty.
too. He turned pretty. Yes, he did.
He was already pretty.
He was
Um,
already pretty in like a
he was-
ruffian, like bad boy way, and then
Yeah,
he
he had
dies
that
and
bad
he's
boy,
just
and then
like,
he went just kind of smooth, and
yeah,
all of a sudden clean shaven, and no, it was
he literally
well,
was.
yeah. So, so what about the story here? What did you think of that?
So the funny thing about this movie is there's not a lot of story here. It's like the most pivotal part of the story is these kids, they move in with their grandpa, you know? And then
Yeah,
like after that it's just kind of like this thing happens to that. Like it's almost like this movie could have all happened in one day. You know what I mean? Like if you
okay,
it doesn't, but if you think about it, it's like they move to Santa Carla and then they meet these vampires and then like they have to kill them all. You know?
yeah,
So there's not really a lot of story here, but the small amount of story we get is fantastic. You
yeah,
know, I feel like they did a lot with very little. They made very little look very theatrical and cinematic and all of that. So I want to give the story a 10.
give it a 10.
Okay, I would
Why?
go
Why
10.
the heck not? I think Rich gave it a 10. Give it a 10. Let's
Cool.
do it.
Okay.
Okay, so Mike says that's just say if all the corpse would to stand up at once, there would be one hell of a population problem.
Mhm.
Yep. I wanted more of the mythology of the vampires, and I think that was kind of the point. This was kind of a modern, like these were modern vampires that they really didn't know the mythology.
Yeah. Well, and like I
So
said, it's
that's
kind of
why it
like
gives them a
a
ton of
day in the life, you know,
yeah,
like here's a day in Santa Carla of something that happened, and then you almost imagine across town there's something else kind of like this happening,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Now, if you take this, you take all the fangs out of this. This is like a coming of age story,
It really is, yeah.
right? So that's where I kind of put. I'm like, if we took all the fangs out of this movie, this would be two brothers move with their single mother. They move to this town to live with the grandfather because something happened at home, and then the older brother falls in with the wrong crowd, and the younger brother is trying to help him. So I kind of liked
Mhm.
that as a story in itself, and then they inserted the fangs and made it all
Mhm.
vampire-y and stuff.
I
And
actually heard a really good theory one time, and this was from another podcast that I used to listen to, that Kiefer Sutherland's character was so he was in Stand By Me. So that was
yes,
like him in high school, and then he had that situation happen in that movie. And then so Kiefer Sutherland left town and he ended up in Santa Carla and met Max, and Max turned him into a vampire. And then now we're seeing where he ended up after Stand By Me. Like, I was like,
so
that is such a
okay,
cool
that
theory.
is kind of a cool, yeah, that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of inserting fangs,
Ah! That was like the goriest scene you get out of this movie
that
too, which
was
is
the glorious scene you get, and you get that just instantly for a second, and then
mhm.
it's gone. Um, but yeah, no, I totally dug this movie. Vampire movies from John Carpenter. I do like vampires. John Carpenter's Vampires was good.
Yeah,
I
that was
enjoyed
good.
that. What'd you think of the script here for Lost Boys? Trying to get back on
Uh,
track.
I loved it. There's so many like repeatable lines in this movie, like death by stereo. I literally still say that today, and I don't even know why. Like I just randomly will say it in conversations and stuff. So there's a lot of like good one-liners, repeatable lines. So I want to give the script like I'd say a 9 just because it's not thoroughly flushed out. I feel like there could be some things, but
Okay. Okay. How about the visuals? Cinematography,
all
special
these
effects,
beautiful boys running around,
all these,
10.
yeah. And just for the dude with the saxophone. And
You give me a shirtless, greased up
I,
Tim Capello, it's gonna
I,
be a 10.
I still believe
Yes.
it would have been cool to have gotten the sequel with all the girls gang with Drew Barrymore. Oh,
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I
that
wasn't
would be
really
neat.
excited about that
Yeah.
one.
So you're gonna go 10, right?
I'm gonna go 10. And
Okay.
I'm kidding about the dudes, but kind of not kidding. Like there was
Kind
a
of
bunch
not
of
kidding.
hunky dudes.
You're seriously joking.
But there were some really good, like the cave scene was really cool, and like the ending scene with that big fence post going into his chest and him flying into the fireplace and blowing up. That was really cool. The vampire that gets the death by stereo when he blows up, that was really
Yes.
cool. So
Yes.
there were some things.
Yeah, I dug that.
The
That was
lighting was great too. You always got they weren't neons, but there's always like a red or blue light for some reason all the time.
right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was really neat. Okay. Now talking about the direction. So this was directed by Joel Schumacher, and he did Batman and Robin, so we'll throw that one out. But he did Phone Booth, he did 8mm, Phantom of the Opera. He's got quite a few good. Blood Creek. I like that one. I really like
Yeah.
that.
He has a good track record for
He has
sure.
a good track record. So yeah, I think the direction here was really good. So
I
what
think
would
so
you
too.
what would you
Especially
give
when
it?
you have like all of these young people and you gotta like rally them and get them together and tell this really brief story. I mean, I'd give the direction probably a 9,
Okay. Nice. Okay. Dude,
10.
soundtrack and the music and
10
10. I
and all
just
over the place.
all over the place. Okay.
You could
So
literally buy the soundtrack of this movie and every song is a jam.
yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So and I'm just looking at the trailer and it shows the dude with the saxophone.
Tim Capello.
I just clicked on it and I was like, yep, I still believe. So wait. So yeah, great visuals. This is one of the most one of the most 80s movies ever made. Yeah.
I feel
It's
like
perfect
it's
middle
still
ground as
relevant.
far as the guys go. All the dude wanted to be them and all the girls wanted them. Okay. Mel, what is your favorite song from the Lost Boys?
Probably Cry Little Sister.
Yeah.
It's
I
gotta
like
be.
People Are Strange. I do like that one, but yeah, Cry Little Sister is
Mm.
my favorite too. I effing love Batman and Robin. Sure. I'm just saying, as far as Schumacher's concerned,
Oh, dude.
Falling Down. I love Falling Down.
Oh, that was a good one too.
So good. Also directed Batman Forever. Yes, he did. Yeah, Tim's scene is epic. Okay, so the last thing is the wild card. 1 to 10. I mean, based
10.
on the vampire movies, 10.
10.
10.
It's my favorite of all time, so it's gotta be a
It's
10.
your favorite of all time, so it's got to get that score, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, totally. Kiefer Sutherland was great in William Friedkin's last movie, The Kane Mutiny Court Martial. Okay. I haven't seen that with the late Lance Reddick.
Huh.
Great courtroom drama. Okay. Interesting. I really liked Kiefer Sutherland in Phone Booth. even though mainly he's just a voice.
I was going to say, even though he wasn't in it.
But as soon as I heard his voice talking to Colin, I was like, dude, that is Kiefer Sutherland. Spotted it right off the bat, but it was so
yeah,
cool.
Me too. My favorite performance of his is Flatliners, probably. He does such a good job in that movie, and that movie is so underrated.
It is. It's so good. And then what did you think about the reboot?
I hated it.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it. Garbage. Hot trash.
I was like, no.
This is why they can't do this, because it makes people who have never seen Flatliners not want to see it, and it makes people who've seen Flatliners just hate it. Hate the new one. Yeah.
Absolutely hate the new one. Yeah.
Yeah. There was such a vibe with Flatliners. It had such a tone, like a mood, you know?
Yeah. It was really, and I love that cast. Julia Roberts and
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon is just, I love that
Mhm.
dynamic between that cast. The chemistry was awesome.
Yes, it was amazing.
All right, let's go to our final scores on Lost Boys. Now we're talking as far as your scores go, Mel. So let's check this out. IMDb goes with a 7.2. Rotten Tomatoes critics score 77. Audience score 82. Rich gave it an 84. I gave it an 80, and you gave it a 93.
Hell yeah.
Out of 100. So
I would have gave it 100 if I could.
This makes sense. If it wasn't for IMDb, you probably would have given it.
Yeah. Damn it.
Adrian says, watch Flatliners recently, and it's still a great film. Yeah. Kiefer in the Vanity.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
His performance in Freeway. That movie is horrifying.
All right. We've got one movie left.
Okay. I can't believe this was number one.
This was number one. And most of it's kind of my fault, but let's look at Rich's viewpoint on our number one movie.
Sinister. I dig this movie. Ethan Hawke is fantastic. The home movies really creep me out, and I think out of the 5 movies that you picked, this was definitely the most scariest, creepiest, however you want to put it. Yeah, I really like this movie. Thank you for picking it, Mel.
You're welcome.
So yeah, our final movie from 2012 is Sinister, starring Ethan Hawke, and I loved this movie.
It's a goodie.
It's a goodie. It's found footage wrapped up in a paranormal package, and I absolutely I loved it. I was like, definitely, I agree with Rich. It was the scariest. I mean, I love Lost Boys. Lost Boys is iconic. Evil Dead is iconic. This one, I think, as time goes on, I think this will eventually drop below. As far as my viewpoint goes, it'll probably drop below Lost Boys and Evil Dead at some point. But right now, it's still fresh. It's, I think it's just 11 years old. So I still I like to watch this at least once or twice a year because it's got really, really good jump scares and creepy, just the creep factor with the kids. And I totally like this.
I kind of feel bad for this one because it came out and then it got overshadowed by all this Conjuring and Insidious business, because this one only had one sequel and the sequel was terrible.
The sequel was awful. I was so disappointed.
Oh, the sequel was terrible. So this one just kind of got overshadowed by those other 2 franchises, but this one is to me a better movie.
I agree. I think this is a way better horror movie than those. I love the Conjuring movies, but this one was so unique in its style,
atmospheric,
and Ethan Hawke did a great job. I mean, and I was like, wow, he can really do a horror movie. And then I saw him in Black Phone, and I was like, totally cool. I'm totally in. I enjoyed Black Phone a lot. So yeah, Mika loved Vanishing. Sinister is terrifying. One of the few films to actually scare me. Haven't seen the Vanishing remake. The original is amazing. Brian says I need to watch Sinister. Yes, you do. Sinister is scary. I agree. So this was actually up until 2020. This was voted the scariest movie of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I believe that.
So this was it was a thing where they measured your heart rate when you watched the movie. And so they had these people watch 40 horror movies. And then they measured the average heart rate. And this one had the highest average heart rate of any of the movies. That includes Exorcist and Emily Rose and Nightmare on Elm Street and all that stuff.
I was just going to say, I wonder what other movies are on that list.
Yeah, it was like the main 40 of the top horror movies of all time.
Wow.
And 13th, all that stuff. The only one to beat it was a movie that's on Shudder called Host, which is the one where it's all done on Zoom.
I saw that
and
one.
that really surprised people. I liked that one, but I think the issue was that one was brand new because it was just came out in 2020. So everybody was watching that for the first time, and it surprised them. So I still think Sinister should be one of the main top scary movies of all time.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. Because if you're watching a movie for the first time, the suspense is so much higher than a movie when you know what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, Mika says, yes, I saw that ranking. I believe it. I've never seen Sinister. I did really like Insidious though. I liked the first Insidious. It is a jump scare fest, but I enjoyed that. And I think they strayed too far away from it with the sequels. They tried to go make it more like Conjuring than like Insidious. I think Insidious should have stayed in that wheelhouse, but I did like that first one. And we should move ahead because I'm already past an hour and a half. And this is the last one. So we're almost out of here, but we've had some really good reactions from the chat. So I want to thank you guys for commenting. Oh, sure. This one's got a great synopsis on IMDb. So
oh, goody.
This is my first time watch. So yeah. So what do you think, the cast here? Ethan Hawke.
I recognize Ethan Hawke and the wife. That's probably it though, because there really isn't a whole lot of characters in this movie than the main family and I guess the people in the found footage.
The cop, wife. I think I recognize that police officer that kept coming by, and
I'd say probably 5.
Okay. I dig it. How about the acting?
Oh my God, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. I really like the kids here.
Yeah, the kids did a great job.
Kids did a great job, and I'm just gonna do this.
Oh my God,
yeah. It's so good.
I'm hearing that image too.
Yeah.
So I'd give it a 9 probably. Okay.
Down for that. All right. So let's read the synopsis on this. Here we go. A controversial true crime writer finds a box of Super 8 home movies in his new home, revealing that the murder case he is currently researching could be the work of an unknown serial killer whose legacy dates back to the 1960s.
That's terrible. That makes you think that this movie isn't what it is.
That's not at all what it's about. It's a really long synopsis, but it's that's not even what it's about.
It's kind of, but at the same time, it's no,
it got the
it's not what
it's writer and the box of movies. But it makes when it gets to the unknown serial killer and stuff, it
makes you think that this is some kind of true crime thing where he's trying to solve a serial killer murder or something.
Yeah. But
I guess
not knowing anything about it though, if you just read the synopsis, would you be interested in watching it?
I would because I love true crime.
Yeah.
So I'd probably give it a 7.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be excited about it because it doesn't
I ended up giving it an 8.
funny.
Yeah, I gave it an 8 because I was like, "Ooh, true crime." Now,
Yeah.
if I'd have known what the movie was about and then read the synopsis, I'd be like you, and that's not right.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's kind of right, but it's not. It leads you to believe that it's something
yeah, it leads you
else.
down the wrong path.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, so let's talk about ending. What do you think about the ending here?
I mean,
Yeah, well,
it wasn't a happy ending,
no,
but it was
and
good because it's like I'd give it an 8.
okay, all right,
I
story.
can't give it a bad score just because it didn't end the way I wanted it to.
No, and that's sometimes I give it a higher score because I was like, I didn't expect it to end that way, so that
Right.
surprised me. May not have been what I wanted, but I liked that it surprised me. So I end up usually kind of up in the score on that. But okay, so what do you think of the story?
I loved the story. There was something so good about a true crime writer writing a new story and then, like, actually moving into the house of the story that he's writing. Like,
Yeah,
to me, I was like, "That sounds like something I would have done." Like, I
right?
wanna live
Yeah,
in this, like, creepy ass house so I can, like, see what happened and stuff.
yeah.
So, I love the story, so I'm gonna give that an 8.
Okay. All right. So script. What do you think about how it was written?
Um, I feel like this could have
Oh,
been kind of complicated just because, like, the story that's being told is also visually being told
yes.
because the found footage parts, there's no dialogue there. It's just all
No, it's really
visual.
just, hey, watch this. and
Yeah.
and then we're going to give you a little bit more later when you find the extra piece of the films.
Yeah,
Uh,
so then they have to find, like, a clever way of wrapping it up and encapsulating all of that stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, I really like that. So I'm gonna give it an 8. 8s
Okay.
across the board.
It's across the board. It looks like, okay, visuals, cinematography, visual effects, CGI, yada,
Okay,
yada, yada.
so some of the visuals in this movie are some of the scariest ones I've ever seen, okay? So, like, when crap, what is the name of the entity? Ba Bagul.
Yeah.
When
Buggle.
Bagul is, like, standing out in the yard or when you see him in the pool, like, oh, I just gave myself goosebumps. It is horrifying, and then the found footage reels, like, there's literally one with a lawnmower.
Yeah.
And people buried up to their neck, like, wait, are they buried? No, they're just laying on the ground. I don't know. They're laying on the ground or something,
Yeah.
and there's a lawnmower, and that was horrifying too. So I'd give the visuals like a 9
Okay.
because they were scary. And is this the scene with the kid when he's in the box?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that freaked me out.
Dude, I love that.
No, it's horrifying.
Man.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Yeah. That was really good. Um, so that was one of the things I actually gave the visuals here a 10 because I was like, I it was scary, it was creepy. The way that they did the home video footage was creepy. The way that the kids were going back and forth in the hallway behind him when he was walking
Mhm.
down the hallway, I was like, dude, so cool how they did that. It was really smooth, no sound. I was in.
Yeah, the
Uh,
only thing that didn't really sell me on it is once you started seeing the other kids, it made it a little less scary for me because I don't know, they just didn't look they weren't scary, you know what I mean? Or,
okay.
like, it was just, like, they looked weird. They were supposed to I don't know. I wanted them to look different, and so I think, yeah, maybe that's why I'm gonna give it, um, a 9.
Okay. Okay, so direction. So this was directed by Scott Derrickson. Now, Scott Derrickson did have a hand in directing the Multiverse of Madness as well with Sam
Oh.
Raimi. But he produced Black Phone, he directed Deliver Us from Evil, which was Eric Bana. That's another really good possession movie.
Ooh, okay.
that I really liked, and that's actually based on a real life person who I interviewed. Uh, so Ralph Sarchi is who that movie is about, and he was a police sergeant in New York that became a demonologist. And I actually interviewed him 2 years ago for my other podcast, which is called Spirits with Spirits, where we talk about the paranormal. And so had this great, we had this great show with him about talking about angels and demons and how possession works and how exorcisms work and things like that. It was a great interview.
That's cool.
But that movie, Deliver Us from Evil, it's based on his book that he wrote about himself.
Well, that's
and
cool.
dealing with a possession issue while he was a New York cop. And so yeah, if you haven't seen that, check that one out. But this guy also directed that. So I really liked the directing here. What did you think about it as far as tightness of the movie and, nothing really sticking out as like being out of order or anything like that?
No, I thought this movie was spot on. It was really great. Like I said, it has like this vibe to it, and
Yeah.
I'd give it a 9.
Sweet. All right, music, sound effects.
So there's always this sound. It's not really music. It's kind of a sound when you're watching one of the clips. You know? I can't even put my finger on like what it is. Did you know what it is?
What stood out for me was the sound of the projector.
Is that what it is?
Right. And then, but there was this underlying like a hum, or something that was like underneath it, to where it just added like a creepy layer.
Yes.
To the whole thing, almost like the projector itself was humming, like it was warm, and it was with the light and everything. It sounded like an easy bake oven. If you ever use an easy bake oven and you just have that really bright light bulb and it goes,
it kind of hums.
It kind of hums.
Yes.
So
other than that, and like maybe a few other things, this movie is kind of quiet. Because there for a couple years, this movie was one of my comfort movies, because you could literally put it on in the background and do anything else, and it's not overtly loud,
Right.
There isn't a lot of screaming or anything. So
and sometimes silence speaks volumes. Their saying goes. So yeah, I actually gave points to that. The fact that it is so quiet that it leaves you in your own thoughts. And
that's part of what I love most about this movie. Like I said, it was a comfort movie forever, just because like I could just have it on and it was just eerily in the background. So I'd give it an 8 for sound.
Okay, good. Yeah, because the lack of sound is actually something that you can score as well. Okay. Paranormal movie, absolutely. A little bit of found footage. How would you rate the wild card here, the type of horror?
I would give it a 10, because this movie nails it on all levels pretty much.
Absolute. I totally agree. Totally agree.
I thought you might.
Like I said, I absolutely enjoyed this. This is such a fun watch. As the sick bastard that I am, according to Rich.
Yes. Well, I'm glad he enjoyed this one too, because it truly is a good movie, and it's getting that like underrated status, like I said, because it's just getting overshadowed by all of these other bigger franchises. So
yeah,
we need to give it a little love.
You need to give it a little love. Yeah, you guys, if you haven't had a chance to check this out, definitely do so, because it's amazing. It really is. And I'm just gonna check it. It's on Bravo TV now. Probably find it on Sci-Fi Channel even, and you can rent it on Prime for $3.79. So yay.
So you can kind of watch it. You can't watch it for free, huh? Boo.
Yeah, I agree with the 10 rating. Thanks.
Yes.
and it's just spinning. So hurry up. It does not want to come on the. Let's see if that one works. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Final scores on Sinister. IMDb gives it a 6.8. Rotten Tomatoes critic score 63%. Audience score 62. Rich gave it an 86. I gave it a 92. Mel, your score on this one is an 81.
Dang.
Solid.
So it's like a good movie and stuff.
It is. It's like a good movie.
Nice. So then
Awesome.
my list would be Lost Boys, Sinister,
Boys.
Killer Clowns, Evil Dead, and then Psycho Gourmet.
Yep. And I'm writing those down right now so that I can do the closing thing. I did not do hot seat question 5, so I'm going to give that to you now while I finish this up. It is, give us your most surprising hot take. So one movie that you can't stand that everyone seems to love. And we're going to leave this horror theme. So is there a horror movie that everybody seems to like that you don't care for?
Yes. So Midsommar, I hated that movie.
I don't like that movie.
I cannot stand that movie. Everything about it. There was like the one scene where they like chuck the old man off the cliff. That was kind of cool. That sounds terrible. But other than that, the movie was just not for me. So I guess that would be my hot take.
Okay. Did you like any of those, like The Witch or Hereditary or?
I liked Hereditary. I have not seen The Witch. I still have yet to see that one.
Okay. Got one more do.
I'm trying to think if there's any more hot takes that I have. I mean, I didn't particularly enjoy Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends, but I think that's not a hot take.
Not really. I mean, I guess my hot take is I actually liked Halloween Kills.
Oh, there you go.
Because a lot of people didn't like it, but I did. Aside from the hospital scene, I thought the hospital scene was ridiculous.
That scene upset me on like a whole other level.
So many levels, right? It was just
Mhm.
so bad. Like, that whole evil dies tonight and crap. I'm like, go away. What the?
Mhm.
That did not work for me. All right. So I am going to save this together the outro while we did this. So I'm loading it right now. That way, because I had to wait till your scores were come in before I could put it in.
Gotcha.
So Mika says, can't wait to get your thoughts when you see The Witch, Mel.
Yes. So I need to find like a physical release of it because I missed out on that second site release. And I don't really know of any other one.
Okay.
Other than maybe just like a standard blue or something. So I'm hoping somebody else puts it out with some kind of glorious edition.
Right. So yeah, Holland says he's not an Ari Aster guy, but a Robert Eggers guy. I did like Northman a lot. That one. That one. I didn't think I was going to like that.
I have yet to see that one. I own it. I bought it, but I still have to watch it.
Yeah, I ended up seeing it in the theater, and I was like, dude, that was better than I thought.
Nice.
I bought the 4K. I was like, dude, I love Viking movies. I just didn't think, I'm not a Robert Eggers fan. But I did like Northman. I liked how they did it. So
that has Alexander Skarsgård in it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, in all his full frontal glory, in fact.
Oh!
It's very silhouetted, but there's like a whole naked fight scene.
That's hilarious because I'm rewatching True Blood right now, and he's naked in that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he is.
You don't get to see it, but he was naked in Legend of Tarzan too. Margot Robbie was like, "Whoa." So that's it for the show. Mel, did you have a great time?
I did. This was super fun. It was interesting.
Sorry it went long, but
It's
um,
okay.
I had a blast. I know the guys in the chat had a blast. Thanks everybody for watching. So Mel, before we go, take us out by saying, what's up with your channel? What's coming up next?
Oh, I'm big. Well, I do have a giveaway coming up tomorrow on my channel. So if you guys want an opportunity to win a couple movies, check out my video I'm going to be dropping tomorrow. It is sponsored by MVD, so it's very exciting. And we have a Rad Pack episode coming up next week. We are doing a The Blob versus the Stuff stream on Friday. So come check us out on the Rad Pack podcast channel for that. And that's that.
Awesome. Yay. Oh yeah, True Blood, great stream. Thanks, Mika. You're going to be my next victim. I mean, guest on the show.
I can't wait to watch it.
So next Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have Mika and Kira,
Heck yeah,
the twins, on the show. We're going to talk horror movies because they got their 5, and they picked some good ones too. I'm gonna leak that right now.
I was gonna say, do we get to know what they are?
Yeah, I'm gonna present that. So in case you guys want to watch these movies again and kind of follow along with us next week, they picked Autopsy of Jane Doe,
So good,
Silver Bullet,
so good,
Talk to Me, House of the Devil, and Green Room.
I don't know if I've seen that one either. Okay, those last two. I'll have to watch those last two.
House of the Devil, that's the one I haven't seen. That one I haven't seen. So I'm really looking forward to that. So many great guests. Thanks, Holland. Yeah, I try to get like the best people. Because because I got rich, so I need to counter. No.
After that Evil Dead take, I believe.
After that Evil Dead, that Sam Raimi take. But yeah, no, I enjoyed Green Room. Anton Yelkin, I think. So, I know Patrick Stewart is in it. It's an A24. Yeah, Anton Yelkin, Imogen Poots, Patrick Stewart. And Patrick Stewart's the bad guy in Green Room. So it's good. I enjoyed that a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed that one a lot. But yeah, House of the Devil I haven't seen. So that one I'm looking forward to watching.
Sweet.
But yeah, I love Autopsy of Jane Doe.
That is so good. And Silver Bullet's so good. And I just saw Talk to Me the other day.
Talk to Me. I saw that in the theater. That's my horror movie of the year.
Oh, really? See, I wish I would have went to the theater to see it.
Yeah. Oh, so good. It was good. Definite creepster. I really enjoyed that in the theater. But yeah, Silver Bullet. I have a special place in my heart for Silver Bullet because the Reverend Everett McGill, who plays the werewolf, his last name is my last name in the movie.
Really? Yeah. That's fun. It has Corey Haim in it. That's why I love it.
I like Corey. I think that's one of my favorites of Corey Haim is
really?
That yeah.
I love his little contraption that he rides around on.
I love his Gary Busey invented wheelchair with the rockets. All it was missing is like, oil slick, some James Bond crap on it. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, which for sure. Gary Busey hilarious.
Talk to Me is our favorite of the year as well. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to talk that with Mika and Kira. And we're going to talk about tea because they're big tea nuts and I'm a big tea nut. So we're gonna compare teas. I told them that I want to do like a pairing. So like they pick a movie and then they're gonna tell me a tea that they'd like to pair with it.
I love that. Yes.
So we're gonna do that, and that's gonna be a lot of fun next week. I think Rich will probably be lost because he's not a tea fan. But
Well,
But
maybe
that's
he will
okay.
be after.
He will be after. He'll go, I'm going to try some of these teas. I didn't realize there were so many different kinds. Dude,
Mhm.
so many different kinds.
Yep.
I've got this huge cupboard that's just full of tea, just
Really?
all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. You
It's
guys are gonna
great.
have a good time talking tea.
It's going to be a blast. But Mel, I'm going to let you get out of here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on, and thanks to everybody in the chat for hanging out.
I appreciate it. You guys, thanks for hanging with us. And thanks if you're going to watch this on replay. I really appreciate that. Again, like, subscribe, turn your notifications on for the 4K lowdown and for Mel at My Killer Podcast. And as far as the Faces for Radio are concerned, we will see you next time on By the Numbers, which will be next Wednesday or possibly Saturday, depending on if Rich has to work again. Until then, I'm going to play a recap for you of all the scores, and we'll see you. Take it easy, everybody.
Bye.